Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus versus Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus Camera Comparison. Can you tell the difference? Let's look at the specs side by side on both of these devices. On the back, also known as the rear-facing camera, both have triple lens setups with a 12 megapixel telephoto lens, 12 megapixel wide-angle lens, and a 16 megapixel ultra-wide-angle lens. The front-facing, also known as the selfie camera, both have a 10 megapixel lens, but the S10 Plus has an extra lens that makes up the double hole punch, which allows it to have an extra 8 megapixel lens for RGB depth. Both have Samsung's dual apertures that switch inside the camera itself. I could go on all day about the specs of these two devices, but what we really want to know is it worth the extra money to skip the S10 Plus and go to the Note 10 Plus, or do these cameras take the same pictures? If the hardware is basically identical, then the only difference could be the software. When it comes down to grabbing your phone, you just want to be able to snap a photo. Wait, no, not just a photo. You want to snap a perfect photo with a perfect shot. I think you can do this on either device. It just comes down to the features and the little extras you're paying for. Let's move on to actually looking at these photos side by side. Can you tell which photo belongs to which camera? In this photo, I got down to the street and I snapped the shot. Just looking at our first photo, you can tell that these two photos are very much different. On the right, the bricks are much darker and have a much better contrast. When looking down the road, you can see the brick lines further down than the photo on the left. But which one is which? The return of the tree of life. Given the talent within this photo, is there a clear winner? Is there a more superior one than the other one? But which device took which photo? Here we have a photo of one continuous piece of paper that was folded many times over to create this amazing origami that's simply stunning. Which camera took these photos? The one on the top was able to capture the individual folds much better than the lower one. Next up, some more origami. One of these photos is more saturated than the other, but which one came from the S10 Plus? Grabbing a cold brew from local brand Kawa, taking this photo side by side at the same time. Again, we have a much more saturated photo. Saturation is not a bad thing, but it does always come down to personal preference. Same subject, different settings. Here we activated the live focus mode. I personally feel Samsung has not quite figured this out yet. I want to point and shoot my camera and let the software do all the work, but Samsung is just not there yet. One of these photos is a clear winner to me. Pause the video, head down to the comment section and let me know which one you think has the best bokeh effect. Here's another live focus photo, but I never got the live focus to activate, so I gave up. With Samsung's live focus, you have to be able to capture the subject at the perfect angle at the perfect distance in order to activate it. Sometimes, I just want to take a picture and see what happens. This mural can be found at a local hotspot. This picture is great for comparison. You can find more details in the dark blacks on the top photo, while on the bottom photo, the blacks are more smooth while the colors pop much more. Which device took which photo? Now we're going to dive into more of the features. We're going to take a look at the ultra wide lens and see what changes. Which one is the Note 10 Plus and which one is the S10 Plus? One has more defined clouds that are less blown out. Which one do you prefer? Here we go again. Starting off by snapping my photo in the park. While staying in place, I activate the wide lens and it brings in so much more of the clouds and grass. But one of these photos has the clouds blown out. And when I say blown out, I'm referring to the clouds are white and not as defined as they are to the naked eye. Samsung has really advanced in this department, but they're still not perfect. In this side by side, I was lucky enough to catch this little critter in action. In one of these photos, the greens are much more bright, but which photo was taken on the S10 Plus? Can you tell? Moving on to one last comparison with the ultra wide angle lens. This photo showcases the power of that wide angle lens. You can see so much more of the world around us when looking through the wide angle. Almost makes me wonder how this wasn't a flagship standard until 2019. In this super slow motion video, you can see one camera is superior to the other. The definition and the saturation are much better in one of these videos, but which one was taken on the Note 10 Plus? Here's another slow motion video, but in this clip, we're processing much more information with the rain and the moving vehicles all at the same time, and then activating the slow motion. They're absolutely amazing. But is the Note the winner, or is the S10 Plus the winner? Lastly is the Hyperlapse Photo. Again, taken in the rain, a lot of information to process and reflect back to us. Which one do you think is better? Both are pretty cool if you ask me. All in all, both devices have almost identical hardware. Both have the same specs, and the only difference might be some upgrades to the Note that we didn't even do comparisons on. I want to keep things fair for all the challengers. When it comes down to it, choice and personal preference will always prevail. There are no winners, just images you like over other images. Given that these are both Samsung devices released in 2019, I'm still surprised that I was even able to tell the difference in just a couple of the photos. You would think they would be identical, but they're not. Thanks for checking out this camera comparison. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up. If you want to see more of me, please consider hitting that subscribe button. And for the love of tech, till next time, namaste.